Okay. Oh! He did disconnect! So, after 100 games of Unika, we have finished at 56 wins to 44 losses. Pretty good record, putting her tied for second place with Nago, the current frontrunner, still being Axel and Bedman at 58 wins. Unika's a pretty fun character. I was genuinely surprised. I'm glad that they went with the all-rounder route. It makes sense, given the context of the character and everything. Unika was a character largely promoted by the anime. She was one of the leading characters in that. I'll try and keep the spoiler free in case anybody is planning on watching still or wanting to learn more about her. One thing that I am happy of, just really quickly while I'm talking about the anime, there's definitely more of a chance for her as a personal character to be a bit more fleshed out in the game because of the stuff they're dealing with in the anime. She did get too much developmental time in certain areas, but that's the last I'll speak on that. But it was really nice seeing the comparison between the two and being able to see the character a bit more. So Unika, as a character in Strive, is way more of an all-rounder, which, upon some reflection, is actually pretty rare for the DLC characters, I think. I think the closest all-rounder we really got was like Sin in Season 2, but Unika just having, fairly standard movement, having access to a type of fireball. She has her laser shot, her 236H, a stun dipper type move, fast, advancing low, is really cool. It's actually refreshing in a way that we get an all-rounder. Unika's playstyle is a bit more slow and steady and mid-rangey than I think people might be expecting. I think in the early days, and this is true for me too, I was just trying to hard force going in and air dashing in, but on reflection, I don't think that's the best way to approach. Her normals have a lot more screen presence than you might initially think, 5H being the main one. You've probably seen a lot of people talk about 5H. But when it comes to aggression, she really doesn't have the best jump normals for it. Her jump H is great, but it has to be used kind of specifically for setups. It's able to complement some of the offense she does like going for after getting knocked down, say, with enhanced stun dipper, or after a normal throw you get a nice safe jump off of it. But as an approach tool, a lot of her jump-ins aren't too great for that. I would say a lot of her normals aren't too great for that. Actually, I mentioned the enhanced stun dipper, so I should probably touch on that really quickly. So Unika has follow-ups to each of her slash, heavy slash, crouching slash, and crouching heavy slash that she's able to perform, and they need to be done with the same button. So you can do far slash into the standing slash follow-up, or far slash into crouching slash follow-up, but you can't, for example, do far slash into 5H follow-up, or vice versa. You can't do 5H into far slash follow-up. But from these follow-ups, she's able to get enhanced special moves. So while normally her overhead doesn't combo on block even if you RC, if you do the enhanced version, you're able to RC, it's able to juggle a bit more, you get enhanced properties. It makes most things safe on block, not necessarily plus, but safe. Even her stun dipper, the fast advancing low, becomes -3, so she's able to block anything in the game afterwards. The enhanced normals play a really important part into her combo routing. Being able to pick the right route at the right distances becomes really important, and I think it also becomes one of her biggest weaknesses also, is conversion ability is very distance specific, so being able to find the right conversion from the right distance becomes really important when you're thinking about how to route your combos. As an example, one of the go-to things I was trying to do a lot of the time was far slash 5S follow-up into Stun Dipper. But this doesn't actually work at all ranges, and if they're able to block low, sure, I'm getting the enhanced Stun Dipper, you know, it's safe, but it is their turn afterwards. So if I'm at the distance, if I know I'm at the distance where it doesn't work, then I'd rather go into something like the beam for a bit of guard crush, or go into something like the 214S, the Michael Sword equivalent, kind of. It's that big slashing move, has awesome counter hit properties. Yeah, when I found myself playing Unika, I found that I wanted to stick in this more mid-rangey zone and try and snipe people out with some of her more decent buttons. 5H, once again, big enabler. Being able to land 5H into the H follow-up, which is like a fireball, and dash forward, on block is really good. On hit, you generally get to go into some type of enhanced special, depending on the distance, once again. But being able to find that was really important. Doing a 2S into the 2S follow-up, this big beam, I also believe it kind of frame traps, which is really nice. A really great poke, once again. But yeah, it felt more important to stand your ground and then find your conversions as they're approaching you than it was to play aggressively. Now, speaking of playing aggressively, you are able to flip a switch, especially with meter, and she builds meter really well. I usually found myself with an abundance of meter, which always feels great. It's really nice playing a character with like aggressive meter gain, and she's able to spend the meter really well. I think if you've played the game for a little while and you fought against Kai, you probably know how good Stun Dipper RC is, and it's really no different for Unika. Hers is a little bit slower startup from what I recall, but it is still just as good at catching people trying to walk away from you and converting into good corner carry. When you're able to get your follow-ups up close, you're able to get some really solid corner carry, and this allows you to get the wall, potentially break it, and start getting more meter with positive bonus. It's great. So the big struggles I think I had playing Unika were speedy characters and zoners. I think I had the most issues with them. The speedy characters, when I'm up against like Amelia or a Chip, just standing your ground with Unika's buttons becomes a lot harder. They're quick to come out, but it's pretty easy to whiff punish them, even for more of just the regular roster. So the faster grounded characters are able to get really good punishes if you're just whiffing 5H or whiffing far slash, trying to fish for a hit. So they seem to be really difficult. And then zoners, I was also surprised by. I thought having the beam and being able to pierce through a lot of projectiles and get a knockdown to follow up would make it a lot easier, and also having Stun Dipper to approach, just big advancing, low profile. But I really had some trouble. Axel in particular was giving me trouble, and that really surprised me. So just be on the lookout for that. I think it also doesn't help that she's on the slower end when it comes to movement speed. Her air dash is a little bit slower, her grounded speed is a little bit slower, but that's offset by the range and strength of her normals being, you know, as large hitting as they are, and also some of her special moves compensating for that. Overall, though, I think Unika is really fun. I think she's a great character. If you were only loosely interested in Guilty Gear and then got more into it because of dual rulers, Unika's a great entry point. I think having the enhanced follow-ups, being able to use shortcut motions for them too, off of the follow-up normals, you get the shortcut motions into the special moves. Also, I forgot to mention earlier, but she's able to access her enhanced specials in neutral just by using 6H, 6 heavy slash, forward heavy slash. You're able to use that and then chain that into the enhanced normals just from neutral, which is really nice. I feel like the character is really easy to pick up, but also has a pretty high skill ceiling, I think, thanks to the way she accesses her special moves and also the fact that she's able to do a lot of dash cancels, shenanigans and stuff. I think it's going to take some time to really find where the ceiling is at, thanks to all the dash Kara cancels and stuff she can do. But yeah, that's what I think about Unika. Really cool character, glad to see her in the game, and we'll probably be playing her a little bit more on the side. I've been looking for like an all-rounder to complement what I've been doing lately, and I've been playing Soul for that role, but Unika could easily take that place as well. We'll just have to see how things develop. But yeah, let me know what you think about Unika in the comments below, and enjoy the matches, guys. Peace. I don't know, if it happens during this one too, I guess I'll just go play SMT. Try again tomorrow. How dare I ult F4? I know! I know.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
And Johnny was about to make the most ridiculous comeback we've ever seen. That doesn't reach. In case you're curious, that JH doesn't reach unless you let it rock. Oh god. Mega Death Buster! Ouch. I think he's done Wake Up Pop Buster like every time, which is why I keep counter hitting him. You know, just like a fighting game, I just need to keep trying to help people out, and I'll get better as I go.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Whoops. It was worth a shot. I stand by what I did. It didn't come out. It didn't come out again. Me versus reversal DP is just like... my most losing matchup. entire lineage are school teachers. That's so cool, though. Oops. No! Oh! That was a good game 50. Even if I lose the other ones in this set, that
Mankind. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Oh, that didn't connect! Sadness. Ouch. Oh, okay. A little sloppy at the end. We got there. Hey! Game 100 win. And we're through with the 100 games, so I can start working on the video. And I'm free to play other characters. And it was a good ratio. 56 to 44. Not bad.